Welcome everybody, my name is Navitz and today I'm going to go over an analysis guide of how to play the new Viper in 7.23 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, whatever letter of the alphabet they go to in patch Dota 2. So let's start by talking about, first off, his ward placement. His ward placement, he's going to place down to get himself, as a mid player, get himself some vision of the high ground. So you can see on the minimap exactly how much vision he's getting of the high ground. He's doing that so he can stack instances of the new poison attack against Lukey, which is the game that which is the streamer that I just watched play against this Viper. Now, this Viper didn't come out super far ahead, and we're basically going to talk about some things that he did conceptually and how he controlled the lane. It's not going to be, this isn't like the build I want you to go every time. This isn't the be all end all of how to play Viper. In fact, you should vary your builds from each game across games. So basically what we're going to look at is how he plays the game, how he plays the lane, how he harasses the Void Spirit, and sort of analyze it from that perspective. The other thing that changed about Viper is his Nethertoxin. It's changed a lot, but one of the biggest changes is his cooldown. It goes from, it used to be 6 seconds, then they brought it up to 8, and now it's at 14 seconds, and it does more damage over time the longer that somebody's in the Nethertoxin. The really good thing about the Nethertoxin, and one of the reasons that Viper has picked this game, is because it has a break, which stops passives from working, which is really strong against Spectre. Okay. So let's watch how he plays this lane. Notice that right away, what he's doing is throwing down stacks of poison attack on Lukey, the Void Spirit. Void Spirit also managed to get first blood this game, so it's exceptionally bad for the Viper because he has obviously more gold to work with. Now, why isn't this Viper getting attacked by these creeps? For those of you who don't know, when you use an auto cast spell and you manually cast it, it will not draw the creep aggro. So if he turned it on auto cast and he started right clicking, it would draw the creep aggro, but when he just cast the spell, it doesn't draw the creep, it does not draw the creep aggro. Okay, so in that lane, we're gonna throw up the last hits and denies and just check out how the lane's played. So right here, what he's gonna try to do for the next few minutes is just bully this Void Spirit out of lane. He's got 4 stacks of poison attack, and now Void Spirit's gotta go back until he's got to go back, and he actually spends some mana using Dissimulate to dodge that last poison attack so that he stops stacking poison damage. And he's only level 1 here. The second spell that he gets is Corrosive Skin. Usually on Viper builds, you do go Corrosive Skin second. Probably 3 levels of poison attack, 2 levels of Corrosive Skin, 1 Viper Strike, and then you can sometimes start leveling your Nethertoxin, but most of the time you want to finish off your poison attack. Not often do you want to go straight 4 points in Corrosive Skin unless you're getting attacked a lot. At this point, the way you play the hero is from a far back distance and a far back range. So he's got a pretty good advantage going right now, 8-1 to 4-1 against the hero who did get first blood, and he's harassed him back pretty far. Okay, so let's take a look at here. Void Spirit has got Resonate Pulse next, and what he's going to use this for is to get last hits against the Viper because he knows he can't get very close for very long. So he's got to use it one time, come in, get a last hit, and back up. Now, at this point, he's got another 2 stacks on him. The Viper has how much health right now? 541. Void Spirit 290, and he's taking damage from Corrosive Skin as well. If you don't know, Corrosive Skin does damage too. So let's see how this plays out. Does a little bit more damage, and he goes in actually to try to get the kill here. Viper drops a tango. That was a really sweet move. Not a tango. He dropped a tree, ate it with a tango, and started backing up so he can heal faster. Now the Viper is actually kind of in a bad position here. So this was a really nice aggressive play by the Void Spirit. It actually almost nets him this kill, I believe. Let's see how this turns out. Oh, I remember what happens. So he uses his, what's that, Resonate Pulse? No, that was Dissimulate. Almost gets the kill on him. He unfortunately walks into a Viper who gets a Haste Ruin, loses his Haste Ruin, or sorry, loses his life, and then loses his Courier. So this Haste Ruin was really game saving. Now let's take a look at what items this Viper is buying to start the game at this point. He's got a Wraith Band. Excuse me. He's got a Wraith Band, a second Wraith Band coming. He has one Enchanted Mango and another one he just queued up. Enchanted Mangoes are really good on Viper because they obviously replenish his pool of mana, and he can use it to continuously harass the mid player. You don't want to not have mana as Viper mid, and since it's instant regen, it's extremely beneficial to use those mangoes. And then right there, what he did, if you missed it real quick, he dropped his Wraith Band on the ground, popped his mango, and then picked it back up again instantly, so he has a little bit more efficiency on that mana regen. It works the same way tread switching does. Close, but not quite. Refreshing. Okay, now notice every time that Void Spirit comes close to try to get a last hit, unless Viper is able to get the kill. Well, not unless he's able to get the kill. Unless he's able to get a last hit of his own, he is usually attacking the Void Spirit. So Void Spirit comes forward, Viper goes up, gives him one of those. Void Spirit comes forward, Viper just goes forward, gives him another one of these poison attacks. Over and over again, he'll do this, and he's going to try to deny his own creeps at the same time. So the Void Spirit comes forward, uses a Resonate Pulse, gets a little bit of damage, but still, Viper is starting to win this mid lane. He's got 20 last hits to 3, almost double at this point. He managed to get 1 kill. And the play that the Void Spirit tried to make, it was pretty awesome. Like, he actually almost made that happen. If he didn't get that haste rune there, I think the Viper would have died, but I'm not positive. And the lane would have gone much easier for the Void Spirit. But now at this point, because he didn't get that last hit, or because he didn't get that kill, he can't come forward, and he's stuck in a position where he's playing from behind. Now watch this. So this is a big call that I wouldn't have made, but it's because I'm not as good as this guy at this point. And that is, I don't know if I would have gone to get this Arcane Rune bottom and trade a ranged last hit for the Void Spirit and a deny for the Void Spirit. So he just got a ranged last hit, and now he's gonna get a deny, but Viper is gonna pick up the Arcane Rune. I think I would have tried to get the 2 last hits, but anyway, this goes really well for him. And Luki has to TP out. What he did there was actually really, really clever. He dropped his Aether Remnant so that he could stun, or is it a stun or a fear? I don't know what kind of, whatever. Anyway, he dropped his Aether Remnant so he could stop the Viper from attacking him for a quick second, and managed to TP back to base. But now he's in a bad position. He's still level 4. Viper is almost level 6, just hits level 6, and now Void Spirit knows, oh man, if I try to get up in this lane right now, I'm in a heap of trouble. I am in a heap of trouble. So what this Viper is going to do right now, notice that he's playing in front of this creep wave. He doesn't stand back here, and this is a mistake that a lot of lower ranked players make when they're playing mid, is they stand back here on their own high ground because they're scared of what's on top of this hill. He doesn't have a lot of vision. He doesn't have a ward up. He did have a ward here, just expired, but he's standing up here because if Void tries to come forward and get a last hit or to deny, there's no way for him. He's got to cross the path of the Viper. And not just that, Viper's not a melee hero, he's a ranged hero, so he's got to cross from the point that he starts hitting him, get stacked up with poison damage, go get the last hit and come back. It's just not possible. There's no way he's going to do it. Viper actually did something else interesting that I didn't notice. He bought the Gloves of Haste before he bought the Boots of Speed because he knows he doesn't really need the boots to close distance on the Void Spirit. The reason he does that is probably because it is a Void Spirit, and he knows he has Dissimulate. Is that? I'm pretty sure it's Dissimulate. He knows he has Dissimulate. He watched him use it earlier in the game, so he said, well, I'm not closing distance on him for the kill either way. I might as well go ahead and get the Gloves of Haste for increased attack speed early on. Now check that out. This was another really cool play that he just did there. I know it was pretty minute, but watch what he does with this creep wave. This siege creep isn't gonna stop to attack these creeps. If it sees the tower, it's gonna go forward and start attacking them. So watch how he plays this. The ranged, so the tower the siege creep is in range of the tower. These creeps are going to attack here. But if Viper doesn't step over here and let these creeps auto attack him, what they're going to do is also walk under tower. And he wants to push this lane forward because he wants to continue putting pressure on the Void Spirit. So instead of letting the creeps go under his tower, and also it makes it harder for him to last hit, he takes a couple of hits himself and just starts pushing the lane that way. So Void is still in a bit of a rough spot here. He's just stuck farming this camp. He's almost up to level 6. When he gets to level 6, things become a lot easier for him. And Viper right now, he just goes to check bottom. Oh, he had a rune, or did he just place that? Did he just place that? Huh. I don't know why Viper went bottom here. I think this was maybe a misplay because it looks like he's checking this rune and then he realizes that he's not there. Or maybe he thought that Void Spirit would be there. Oh, okay, well, either way, Void Spirit gets very lucky here with a regen rune because he is behind and he does need to get a creep wave. So he pulls the creep wave from the mid wave up here to the top lane, or to the top rune, getting the regen and then being able to farm the wave and getting his level. Does he get his level 6 off this? Yeah, getting his level 6. So now with Astral Step, he has the ability to close distance on Viper and escape from Viper. And this is actually where Void Spirit becomes threatening to Viper. He actually just manages to dodge that. He comes forward. Viper gives him a couple quick poison strikes, and again, every time he has the ability to, he's throwing those poison attacks down on the Void. So Void's kind of sitting here waiting, seeing if there's anything he can do. Uses one of his mangoes because he knows he's because he knows that if he needs to use the mana now, not sure why he used it just then. Actually, he could have backed up and dropped those wraith bands, but that's fine. Anyways, I missed it while I was talking about nothing important. We're gonna watch this play one more time. Okay, so Void Spirit is gonna use Aether Remnant to try to stun or stop the Viper from getting away while he closes distance on him, tries to do the damage, and tries to make the kill happen. But watch the way that Viper plays this. So now Viper has the choice, and also he actually manages to kill the courier. So Viper has a choice of what to do right now, run away or continue fighting. He is on Power Treads of Strength because he's getting gone on and he wants additional HP. He's gonna drop his Viper Strike and throw poison attacks down. He's got 3 down on him. He tries to use his...
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
What is it again? Dissimulate to escape the poison damage, because you do get a split second where you go into a different realm and it does not manage to work. So he gets the kill off on Void, and now he's up 2-0 on Void with 50 last hits, 15 denies, and Void is sitting at 28-1. So he's doing approximately twice as well as the Void Spirit at this point. What's his item build gonna be? I don't remember what it was. I'm just taking a quick look. Okay, so he's gonna go for the Drums of Endurance first. Drums of Endurance are a very good item. Very good item for team fighting. Very good item for increased attack speed. I think overall I skip them too often when I play, but obviously that's a flaw in my gameplay and I should probably work on that. So Viper manages to get a haste. Let's watch him play this out. So now he got 1 point. So exactly what I said, actually. 2 points in Corrosive Skin, and now he's put a point in Nether Toxin. He actually did finish off the poison attack, which is pretty awesome because it does so much damage. Okay, now he gets gone on mid by the Spectre. He thought he could do more damage than he could. Turns out he can't, and he ends up feeding away his lead. So that's actually a pretty big death on Viper there. And
Killing spree.
I probably should have had Fog for the Radiant on the, or sorry, the Dire on the whole time, because it would have gave you a better idea of exactly what Viper was seeing. But I think that pretty much covers the laning phase for the hero, and we got to the 10-minute mark. So I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the laning aspect of the replay review. Now I want to go on Dota Buff and take a quick look at how some heroes have been playing Viper. So where is, I think I was just looking at, this is Lukey's profile. I was finding these Viper guides. So Dota Buff has this pretty cool thing. If you guys don't know about it, you can find guides on heroes. Any hero that you want, it will give you, I think, automatically created guides for them and how to play them. So I'm just going to take a look at a few of the strategies in here. We're going to talk about that for a quick second. So most of the time you go power treads into either Hurricane Pike or Maelstrom. I think that's kind of the most popular build right now. This one was a little bit different, and I don't want to look at the drafts and figure out why they adjusted things for what reason, but this one was a little bit different. You see in this draft we go Maelstrom. In this one, drums are picked up just as in this game that we're seeing over here. So drums are pretty cool. Black King Bar is obviously needed in a high majority of games, especially as a core. Don't underestimate buying it. One thing I will say is that I see a lot of people go for Dragon Lances really early, and I don't know if that's super necessary. I kind of prefer my playstyle. I prefer going with the Maelstrom before the Dragon Lance, because you get the Maelstrom, and then instead of going Dragon Lance next, you can go for a Force Staff, which you're going to be getting eventually anyway. So you get your Force Staff around like the 15-minute mark. You farm faster. The jungle drops items now, so you get a few items along the way, and you just kind of you use the distance closing ability or the escape mechanic from the Force Staff to save yourself, and then you upgrade it to the Hurricane Pike. So yeah, I like to go Maelstrom, Hurricane Pike, BKB, and then adjust as necessary. I do not like to go for the poison build anymore, although I used to. Now for a quick sec, let's also go ahead and take a look at hero guides. Where is my boy Viper? And I will take a look at the Tortellini guide right here, which I kind of agree with. No, I do agree with it. He used to have 100 Viper Strike DPS, but he's changed it. So this is the build I like. If you are going to look for one, I think this is my preferred build. It's got a lot of good situational items that you should consider throwing in, extension items, all this good stuff, neutral items even. I didn't even know that they had this in the guides yet. Okay, so that's very cool. And then when you look at the talent tree, you can see that Viper has two ways to build. And we're going to talk about the last talent in a second, but he's got 25 attack speed or 8% spell lifesteal. 8% spell lifesteal is good on Viper. I'm not going to pretend like it's not good, but I think the attack speed is better. And since you're not going magic damage build overall or sustain build, the 8% lifesteal just doesn't feel as good. The hero also feels very slow if you go like Atos into Greaves. You just feel so slow everywhere. But when you go the attack speed and then get the 125 attack range talent, he's like a sniper attacking from such a far distance, because you're also usually building a Hurricane Pike on him. The 90 damage and 100 Viper Strike DPS, a lot of people are still going for the 100 Viper Strike DPS. Oh, look at that bug. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Anyway, a lot of people are still going for the Viper Strike, but the 90 damage is just better in my opinion. It does well with the poison stacks of the poison attack. Like, poison attack slows them. You've got, and then you're throwing on an additional 90 damage. It's just really good. The poison attack affects buildings. Now, this is underrated, and people don't realize how good having stacks of poison attack against a building is, because you become like, you're the person who attacks buildings. Like, you take them out quickly with this talent. If there's a lot of heroes that you need, if there's a lot of spell casting heroes, I would still go with the Nethertoxin silences. It's been nerfed slightly. The only reason I think it's not gone as often as it would be is because the cooldown's been increased to every 14 seconds, but still every 14 seconds you get an 8-second AoE silence. That's pretty nutty. And then obviously poison attack affecting buildings. If you're going high ground, if you're looking to end the game soon, if you're going high ground or looking to end the game soon, that's when you get those two talents, and that's how you roll. I will take a look at one other guide. Who do we got here? yeah, we've got Immortal Faith's Guide, and I like the way he builds his Viper as well. I would so this is a little bit different, but this is going with the Dragonlance first. I actually don't like the Dragonlance first, but I guess with the Drums of Endurance, it does have really good synergy because the Drums of Endurance can close distance, and then you can hold off on the Hurricane Pike. He actually doesn't even go to the Hurricane Pike. He just goes straight for the BKB. I guess it's okay. It's okay. I don't love it. But I think I like Tortellini's Guide a little bit better. And I think that's how we're gonna close out the guide, guys. I appreciate you guys checking out the guide. Let me switch over to this bad boy. Like I said, my name's Navitz. I'm trying to throw out more Dota content now. I will be going through some of my own replays as well with heroes that I've been playing a lot, notably Beastmaster and micro-based heroes. I will be back shortly with something new, and I don't know what it is. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.